Hello, Mithril here once again, getting back to Pokémon Yellow No Evolutions, and if all goes well, we should be finishing this up today. So, let's get right to it. Once you restart the game after beating the Elite Four, you'll be back in your hometown of Pallet. However, they don't re-heal your team. That feels really weird to me. Fortunately, we can just heal up at home. However, there is one thing we cannot do, and that's access Pokémon storage. The PC in our room, it can only access our PC, so item storage. It's another of those things I wish more of the main series games would let you do. Now, of course, the Alola games you had Poké Ride, so you could just summon Charizard to get where you were going. But in most of the games, unless your championship team had something that knew Fly, you'd be hoofing it to the next town to get where you needed to go. Slap-a-rat. And slap another rat, for good measure. Right then. So now we can go up here and get something with Fly. Rod, you served us well. You went above and beyond. You are the championship fish. Unfortunately, what we're doing today, you can't really help with, so you deserve a good rest. And we'll get Gemini. Yeah, there's a bit of a level discrepancy there. Should give you some idea of just how much I had to level grind for the Elite Four. But with that, we're off to Cerulean City. So yeah, for those wondering about the breaks between videos this time, it was mainly medical stuff, actually. A lot of visits to my family clinic because they kept having to call me up for talks about my results. The worst one being that they called me on Friday morning, saying I needed to call them about my results, then went home early for the day so I couldn't get a hold of them. Couldn't get a hold of them over the weekend, which was a 3-day weekend because of Labor Day. And then on Tuesday, when I finally got hold of them, they said they couldn't talk to me over the phone for reasons and I would have to come in. So that was great fun. And also, while stressing about all that, I lightly twisted my ankle. I am Murphy's dragon. Blech. Fun times. Long and the short of it is, though, I'm on a new medicine that should hopefully help keep my blood sugar in check. But anyway, welcome to Cerulean Cave. This is the one post-game area that opens up in the original Kanto games after you've beaten the Elite Four. In Red and Blue, the layout of this particular floor was actually a lot different. You could actually skip large portions of the cave to get to the end of it, unless you wanted to go after items. In Yellow, you do have to visit every part of the cave. So, it's a more directed path that steers you where you need to go, but it is a bit longer. Also, the Pokémon here are pretty high level. This can work as a pretty decent training ground if you get tired of fighting the Elite Four over and over. And as such, when I was younger, back in the days of First Gen, this was my training ground. It can also be good for Pokédex entries. For example, you can find a couple of Safari Zone Pokémon here, Rhyhorn and Rhydon, as well as Chansey very rarely. And Chansey being around is also really good for experience. They are, however, still pretty rare. I think a 5% encounter rate in one particular part of the cave on Yellow. Yeah, there's Rhyhorn. We'll let Menza have a little bit of fun. Thinking about it, with the Abra line being like my all-time favorite evolutionary line, have we had any confirmation yet whether or not the Abra line is in Sword and Shield? I want to say of my favorite 6, the only one I want to say we have had confirmation on, at least that I know of, is Machoke. I don't know if we've seen Kadabra, Jinx, Hitmonchan, Scyther, or Porygon. I guess in a way I've kind of made my peace with the whole not everybody is going to be available in Sword and Shield, you can't transfer everybody in. I still kinda hope they reverse that decision, maybe patch it all in later. But it is what it is. I'm still interested to see what will happen with Sword and Shield, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of the new breeds. I'm just gonna say it, Polteageist is pretty great. Also, it looks like Alchemy might be kind of another Vivillon situation. I don't know why it is I tend to like Pokemon with multiple forms like that. I mean, I went crazy getting all of the Vivillon forms, and Deoxys, and Unknown, Oricorio, Rotom, heck, even Pikachu. So, yeah, I'd probably drive myself crazy trying to get all forms of Alchemy as well. I still haven't pre-ordered the game's money, you know, it's a little bit tight right now with everything going on. But I am at least kind of in a willing to give it a chance place. I'm sure it'll still be an enjoyable and fun game. So, yeah, we do have a bit of a lengthy way to go, so I may as well talk about a couple of other Pokemon in First Gen. Well, one Pokemon and one questionable Pokemon. The questionable one, of course, being MissingNo. I'm not actually sure if you can get a proper MissingNo in Yellow, at least the ways you could in Red and Blue. I'm pretty sure you can get offshoots like M', all that sort of thing. But I forget if you can still get just a normal MissingNo. The reason I'm uncertain is Yellow did seem to patch a number of things from Red and Blue, in a manner of speaking. For example, the fact that I couldn't find the invisible PC in Celadon Hotel. So, I don't know if they fixed the glitch that let you find MissingNo originally, and then just kind of opened up a new way to do it accidentally. Originally, I think it had something to do with surfing on the coastline of Cinnabar Island. This can be used for other things as well, because what it tries to do is look up Pokemon from wherever the last area you were was. And so, for example, you can go to the Safari Zone, then leave, then go surfing on the coastline of Cinnabar, and you will find wild Safari Zone Pokemon without having to deal with Safari Zone gimmicks. Which, yes, as a kid, I did that a lot. Because I hated the Safari Zone gimmicks. Hey, it worked. The thing with MissingNo, though, is you have to be very, very careful about it, because it can screw up your save data pretty badly. I always forget if it was messing with MissingNo or the absolute arcane magic that was the N64 transfer pack that actually got rid of a box of my level 100 Pokemon and instead replaced it with a box of level 50 Clefairy that were somehow normal ground type? One of the weirdest things I ever experienced with first gen Pokemon. However, it does have its benefits. If you know what you're doing, you can do things like item duplication to get a bunch of rare candies or whatever you want. Of course, it was never a legitimate Pokemon. It was purely a glitch of the game trying to find something that didn't exist. I always kind of wish they would have just jokingly legitimized MissingNo, though, back in the Alola games, Make Missing Number an Ultra Beast. Call it UB Glitch. Okay, so Menza is out of Psychics. I think we're just gonna go with Repels. I'm pretty sure I have some. Yeah, there we go. I left an item behind. Full Restore, that's a good one to have. So yes, the other Pokémon in question is Mew, the first quote-unquote mythic Pokémon. There was no legitimate way to get Mew in the games themselves. And these were the days before Wi-Fi, so you had to rely on some sort of physical event. You had to either hope that such an event came close to where you lived. I think they had a few at like Toys R Us or whatever. Or you had to hope that they were running a promotion where you could physically mail in your copy of the game, and Game Freak would just give you a Mew that way. The in-store events, they'd hook up the Game Link cable. Wait. Oh, you tie-in levels, so we're not quite free of wild Pokémon. Are they just all gonna be Ditto at this point? Oops. So yeah, of course there were rumors all over the place about being able to get Mew, probably the most famous being the truck at the Vermilion Harbor. That you basically had to sequence break to be able to get to it. You had to have a Pokémon that knew Surf way before you normally would. Of course, there wasn't actually anything to that rumor. It's weird that the truck is there, and it just doesn't seem to actually do anything. But, yeah, you can't do anything with it. It is purely just an aesthetic thing. Now, there is a weird glitchy in-game way to do it that I have seen it done, and I still don't fully understand it. It involves a particular trainer in Cerulean City on Nugget Bridge, I believe, that you have to save the game the moment he sees you and tries to initiate a battle. Then you quit the game. When you restart, you will immediately be thrown into a battle with Mew, I believe. It's really weird. I don't get how it works. I don't get how anyone figured it out. Back in the day, though, I didn't know about that method, and so I used the far less legitimate method of buying a Game Shark and getting a Mew that way. I also used it to get my own Jinx, Farfetch'd, Lickitung, and Mr. Mime, because in-game you can only get those through trades, at least in Red and Blue. Some of them you can find in the wild in Yellow. But it always bugged me that you couldn't just name them. To this day, I still kinda do that if I have the option available with Mythics, just so that I can name them. I wish more of the Mythics got in-game events through DLC, kinda like how they did it with Darkrai and Shaman back in 4th Gen. And yet, despite having an item for it, they didn't do it for Arceus. It was weird. But yeah, stuff like that, it just always amazes me when someone figures that out, and I seriously wonder how they did. Just, why would you even think to do that? Probably just another example of the original Pokémon games being held together with string and duct tape and hope. I had someone in the comments say that it's kind of a miracle these games work at all, and the more you see how weird some of the stuff is, yeah, they're not wrong. But hey, it started a really fun series, and so It's good to respect the past sometimes. If it wasn't for these, we wouldn't have what we have today. But here we are at the end of Cerulean Cave. It's time for the final challenge. It's Mewtwo! So yes, Mewtwo is the highest level Pokémon in the game that you can find in the wild. The ultimate legendary Pokémon of first gen. He's fast and powerful, so I hope I can survive this. Barely. That wasn't even a crit. This could be a thing. Thankfully, we at least have him slowed down now. And we're not doing a whole lot of damage to him. I mean, if you're just gonna stay paralyzed, good. Yeah, that was too much to ask. The thing to bear in mind is Mewtwo has off-the-charts special attack. And in first gen, special attack and special defense were the same thing. So, he has a lot of special defense too. He's no slouch when it comes to physical defense either, plus he knows Barrier. And he also knows that. I'm just gonna reduce your accuracy a bit. Well, there's Barrier. This may be a bit of a battle of attrition due to Recover. The other move he hasn't used yet is Swift, which it's gonna get by the accuracy reduction here, because it's pretty much always guaranteed to hit. However, it is a good deal weaker than him using Psychic. That's the terrifying one. Since we're reducing his accuracy rather than boosting our evasion, even if he takes out Finn, this is going to last. Unfortunately, so are those barriers. So yeah, he is a super defensive tank right now. Essentially, we're gonna have to hope we get some crits, he stays paralyzed for a while, or he just kind of forgets that he has Recover. There's Swift. How much is that gonna do? Yeah, that's more manageable. Let's see if we can get this to finish him off. Not quite. But he didn't recover. We're good. And with that, Mewtwo is down. So, yeah. That was the final challenge, pretty much. Not a lot of fanfare to this one. After all, it was the first game in the series. Later games would have far more developed post-games. I'm going to take that as a sage nod and welcoming the fact that we actually finished this project. It took a while. Real life really wanted to get in the way for this one. But yeah, also, I know I've had someone in the comments that's been upset with me for fighting the legendary Pokemon and not capturing them. Really, I love Mewtwo. Mewtwo's actually one of my favorite legendaries and also my main in Smash. So yeah, I respect Mewtwo. Also, due to Mega Evolutions, I may have collected and trained 3 of them. Just saying. What? I like Psychics. But anyway, that's pretty much the end. nothing else really to do. No final trainer to go after, no stronger Elite Four, nothing like that. Again, first game syndrome, and it was basically just, here's one final Pokémon to complete your collection, which was pretty cool in its own right. You get the build-up of reading those diary entries over in the Cinnabar Mansion, and then you actually go after who they were talking about. So that was pretty cool. But with that, it's time to bring Pokemon Yellow No Evolutions to a close. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for your continued support during all this, hope you enjoyed the project, and I shall see you all again next time. Until then, fare thee well.